Hey guys, so we got the info for Global Saiyan Day celebration, and the JP info dropped, I don't know, like 8 hours ago at this point, so we have like a measuring stick to compare it to. And yesterday I did release sort of like a very harsh rant-ish sort of video, talking about my thoughts on the revenge category. This is not going to be like that video at all. I want to be sort of more level-headed and just, you know, from the ground up, take a look at what we got going on here for Global in terms of the Saiyan Day celebration, talk about my thoughts about that, and then I want to hear from you guys as well, what you guys think about the celebration. There's a lot of, I guess, negativity surrounding the celebration, from what I've seen. It's been like an hour since the details dropped, and people have pretty much just had about an hour to just look it over and give their thoughts about it. And over on Twitter and the Reddit, I've just seen people not really at all happy about what's happening, so we'll just go through it. I have a few points I want to discuss, and let me know down below what you guys think about it, but here we go. So, here we go. Saiyan Day celebration. It's obviously Bardock themed. We have the Saiyan Day login modes, and you know, at the same time, we'll just go through the JP one as well. I have them pulled up side by side, so I think as a direct comparison, because the big thing that I want to talk about here and touch on is at this point, you guys should know that this is a combined celebration between Global and JP. And in that sense, it really should be the exact same. I think that's the most fair way to do it. Just you make the same celebration, you release it on both versions, and then everyone's going to be happy. No one would complain about that, at least from the perspective of it being fair, right? So we have the login bonus special missions. Yep, same thing in JP. JP has the Dokkan Festival. Scroll down a little bit, so does Global. Obviously the same units. I expect these banners are going to be identical, but we're not 100% sure on that yet. Sales actually look pretty good, so that's something. Actually does not show the details for the sales on JP. Then we've got the Revenge category banner, same thing on Global as well. JP doesn't have this because they have like their, you know, constant Elder Kai banners, which Global doesn't have. Then we have obviously have the new Bardock event, and then we have this new Team Bardock event as well, which is probably the centerpiece of this entire celebration, to be honest. I think this is the most exciting thing to come out of the celebration. And then this is where things sort of get split between the two versions. So on Global we have regular Super Battle Road available every day, and we have Dokkan Battlefield / Ultimate Clash up, which is going to be introducing a new set of characters to fight against, and finally Global's getting the LR Mecha Frieza and King Cold. JP is getting Super Battle Road as well, and every day, obviously. And then this new Extreme Super Battle Road, which is where you can Extreme Z awaken the physical LR Kid Gohan, and you also get skill orbs and stuff as rewards, and it's going to be interesting. It has 10 stages, and it looks like it's going to be just a super difficult version of the original 10 type stages that basically the first ever iteration of Super Battle Road introduced into the game. So we'll see how that plays out. But Global is basically swapping this Extreme Super Battle Road for this Ultimate Clash, which people are not happy with, and it's understandable why they aren't. I'll just quickly go through the rest of this. JP's getting this. Oh, actually, no, JP is getting Kai Banner. Interesting. So JP's getting this, it's fine. And then all this stuff down here, like, Global's not getting this, and Global's not getting the SNS campaign. So instead, Global's just getting a bunch of returning stuff, and we'll talk about this in a bit, but without really doing the math on anything, I haven't really looked at like login bonuses or whatever yet. It looks like JP is probably going to end up getting more stones overall than Global is, which is a pretty big deal. And quickly go through this. So we're getting Global's getting a lot more story events returning, and then we're getting these two Dokkan events returning, and that could indicate that we're getting some sort of Mass Saiyan EZA, which would be cool. And then also Super Saiyan Bardock's would be getting their EZAs as well. So, because they awaken with the Mass Saiyan medals, right? Which would help the new Dokkan Fest Bardock out a lot. And then we have these returning on the 24th. And then these are also returning on the 24th. So, that is a week from today. This is the 17th. I don't really know why they would do this unless they were going to be releasing some sort of banner with these units on them. But to me, it's kind of weird that they don't show it. It's also kind of weird that they don't show the EZAs for this stuff coming out, if there are any, right? usually when Celebration info comes out, we see EZAs just instantly, even if they're not coming out during the same time. Like, for example, let's actually just go back for a second and take a look if we can get it. The cooler Celebration. I don't know if we can find it here. Because the cooler Celebration actually showed the Omega EZA like way back. Yeah, this is it. So scroll all the way down. The Celebration released on March 1st, right? And then it showed the Omega Shenron EZA coming out on March 11th. So I see no reason why they wouldn't do that here as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Doesn't mean they're not. It just means that I don't know why they wouldn't. And then people were also talking about how they think that the free-to-play Bardock squads, all 5 new units, could also potentially be getting EZAs as well, which definitely would be really, really hype because they're already very good. So possibly that's coming as well during a hypothetical part 2, along with some sort of banner including these 3 units that are all Sun Family related. Just keep that in mind. So overall, I would probably say that this is one of the more underwhelming celebrations for Global, considering it's Saiyan Day, right? So Dokkan Now, I feel like, is also a pretty big contributing factor to why people are a bit underwhelmed, because Dokkan Now is supposed to be like a, it's supposed to be like introducing something hype for the game. Like Dokkan Now, I guess it's sort of the global equivalent to the live streams that JP has for the anniversary and like the download celebrations, but it's really not, because we got one for the Christmas celebration, which was not great. It just had Kaioken Blue Goku, who was cool. And then we had another one for this. Again, I don't really think the celebration is anything to write home about. Even on JP, it's not really that good, considering it's Saiyan Day. I think for a normal celebration, this is pretty decent because of the fact that we're getting this. This is basically, like I was saying, the entire celebration. Like this is carrying the celebration for me. Maybe not for other people, but I like that. New Ultimate Clash is also pretty good. It's just more stuff to do. It's kind of fresh for Global because new enemies makes it, more challenging. People don't really have a really good idea of how to take them on and stuff. I mean, if you watch JP, then you do, but this is just, for me personally, I'm way more intrigued by new events and stuff to do, more so than banners. So this not being on Global is kind of disappointing for me. And I think the reason why they're doing that is, like I was talking about earlier, the fact that it's giving skill orbs and an LR EZA as a reward. They kind of want to save that for the 5th anniversary, because the 5th anniversary is where both of those things are introduced as new mechanics for the game, and releasing those things right now for Global would sort of undermine that, but I don't think that would really be the case, because take a look at the 30th anniversary. That was when transformations were introduced to JP, and Global got UI Goku before the anniversary, and that just completely changed the whole dynamic of how that worked. Same thing for the 4th anniversary. Global got Kid Goku before the anniversary came out, and he was the first active skill unit that come out on Global, not Super Saiyan 4 Goku, not Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So I don't really know why they're waiting for this. It doesn't really make any sense to me. And I also have pulled up here the Global celebration for Saiyan Day last year, and it really isn't that much better. It could even be worse, to be honest. I mean, login bonus, special missions, we got the Vegeta banner, sales, and then we got like the EZAs for the family Kamehameha units, which were, by the way, I think they were shown off immediately. Yep, down here. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming back. We got a lot of EZAs returning, new Ultimate Clash, so it's comparable to the one this year. I think the reason why people are upset about the one this year is just the fact that JP is getting this and Global isn't, which, again, for me is a big deal. I think in general, if you take a look at a lot of the recent celebrations on Global, a lot of them just are underwhelming, and I think that has a lot to do with the direction the game is going. Even if you take a look at the 5th year anniversary, I saw a lot of people talking about this when the anniversary was going on for JP. There really isn't much to do. A lot of it is banner focused. This game really tends to push summoning more so than anything else. I mean, it's not surprising considering it's how they make their money. But even in the anniversary, they were giving stuff like the new Infinite Dragon Ball History stages. There was new events, skill orbs stuff was out. So I don't really think that anniversary was too bad, but it definitely did seem lacking for like the biggest event of the year, right? But in terms of like a normal celebration, I would probably just classify this Saiyan Day as a normal celebration. Like, I would not put this above something like the cooler celebration, which we just looked at. Like, let's compare the cooler celebration to this one, right? Okay, let's pull it up in a different window. So, login bonus missions, sales. Obviously, sales are a big thing that's different for this Saiyan Day celebration, right? The sales are a lot better here, so that's fine. Even though I don't think the sales are particularly good in Dokkan overall. Dokkan Fest, category banner, Pilas Trove Pack, and the cooler celebration, no Pilas Trove Pack here. This is the best thing in the celebration. Cooler didn't have anything like that. They did have a story event renewal though, which this campaign doesn't have. Super Battle Road being open every day is whatever. It should be open every day just normally. I don't know why it isn't at this point. A lot of stuff coming back, which is fine, and that's it. And then on Cooler's celebration, we had all this stuff coming back as well. We had Extreme Z areas for this stuff, which is new. We also had a regular EZA. So I don't even know if you can. I don't even know. And we also had this stuff coming, like all this stuff coming. We had a world tournament, and we had Bulma event. We had this, like all these EZAs coming, like this. I don't really know if you could even call the Saiyan Day celebration better than the Cooler celebration, if you really look at it. Now this is obviously barring a part 2 coming out for this celebration, which definitely seems like it's realistic. Again, I just don't know why they wouldn't show any of that stuff off immediately, like an EZA for Mass Saiyan. Like, why are they showing his event coming back, but they're not showing the EZA here? I guess they might want it to be a surprise, but it's just very strange. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with the lack of stuff that's coming out for Global. And then this is not meant to be like Global Shaft, because I definitely do think that Global is still getting the better end of the stick in terms of summons. Like, yeah, Pilas Trove is scummy or whatever, but it is better value than what JP is getting. Global often has discounts that JP doesn't get. Global gets the tickets, obviously, which is a huge thing. Let's say you're saving your stones for someone on the 5th year anniversary banner, and you save up 1,000 stones. That 1,000 stones is going to get you a lot farther in summoning on those banners than it would have on JP, where you get 0 tickets. So I do think that is something that definitely has to be taken into consideration. But in terms of like content and celebrations overall, I feel like Global definitely is not up to par with how JP does things. Because even in the V-Jump that came out, they showed that the Blue Kaioken Goku's coming out, and then along with him, they're also getting in Prime Battle Krillin LR, which, yeah, that didn't drop with Kaioken Blue on Global. So I guess it might just be because they just didn't have that stuff completed at the time. I don't know. I have no explanation for it. It happens every time too. Like even with the hit celebration, when that came out on Global, there was literally nothing to do. And then when it came out on JP, they had the Arkel and Caulifla, which was fine. Then they had all the Universe 6 stuff as well, the EZAs that were different. It's just, I don't know. It's tough to justify Global being quote unquote on par with JP when you take all this into consideration. But let me know what you guys think. Saiyan Day, a little bit disappointed because, again, the big thing I really wanted to see this on Global. Would have been really cool to bring that out, because at the same time, like it's something to do with the community. Like if you have like for example, if you're playing Global and you have a friend who plays JP, it would be cool if you could both play the same event that comes out at the same time on both versions. This being a combined celebration, everything should be the same on both versions. Everything. So, like, it doesn't feel the same when there's events that are different for both versions. It just doesn't feel like a truly combined celebration. So, last thing I want to just talk about real quick is the fact that this is an interesting point. In the Dokkan Now video, they were sort of introducing everything. They were like, okay, well, first we have the Bardock team, then we have the Bardock team LR, like the free-to-play units I'm talking about. And then, after that, he was like, okay, now we're finally getting to what we've all been waiting for. And then they talked about the new Bardock, and it's like, well, for me, like, I care more about events. I care more about, like, stuff like this, more so than summons. So it's like it's hard to put into words, but it's like their their sort of bias is thinking that everybody is only here for the summons. And it was so palpable during that Dokkan Now, because they were like, okay, now what everyone's been waiting for, we'll talk about the Dokkan Fest unit. Which, yeah, definitely there's going to be people who are more interested in the Dokkan Fest unit than like on all the events that are coming out. And it's definitely subjective. But to me, more so than this, more so than like summoning and new Bardock, new Raditz, it's fine. But I'm way more interested in something like this. I'm way more interested in something like this. These two things right here. This is what's going to make the game last longer, in my opinion, and make me play the game for a longer period of time. And keep me interested for a longer period of time. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting that they didn't even hold back in saying, like, okay, now that we've got this stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about what you're all here for, which is this, which is not the case for me. So that's just what I'm saying. But yeah, that's those are my thoughts on this Saiyan Day sort of situation. Let me know what you guys think. I definitely am looking forward to, you know, the banner, obviously, and then also looking forward to testing out the free-to-play Team Bardock units everywhere. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one.